right. I think we're ready to go, Heather. Go ahead, please.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Yasi. Welcome to our July version of the meeting of our Board of Directors for ISSIP. Today we're going to be going through our ISSIP awards and recognition for today, the Student Industry Project. We'll speak a little bit about the National Science Foundation Industry Research Awards that we have and some upcoming work that we'll be doing for this next half. Jim will speak to us a bit about our European Commission research that we also have running concurrently. Talk about the most recent Discovery Summit and a bit about our upcoming summit. And then the work that we've done at a number of conferences recently, Fraunhofer and upcoming at Hicks 53. We'll also be covering some other upcoming events that we have, as well as publications, and then updates from our SIG chapters and additional activities that we have going on. Michelle will be giving us an update from on our newsletters and additional publications that we have coming out. We'll do some volunteer recognitions, check in on operations, and we'll be wrapping up our call for today. So Yasi, let me turn it over to you to, nope.
Yeah.
Sorry, kick off. So yeah, we recently had the distinct honor and pleasure of recognizing and awarding our 2019 fellows, Stephen Kwan and Louis Freund. We had a lovely gathering that evening and recognized both of them for their numerous contributions, not only to ISSIP in being founding members, but also to the service industry as a whole, as well as to academia. Just exemplary work that both of them have done in really laying the foundation for future generations to continue this work. So just wanted to take a moment to recognize again our fellows for 2019 and to congratulate them again as they're on the line.
Thank you. This is Steve. Thank you very much. It's really an honor to be recognized by ISSIP and my colleagues. Thank you.
And I also want to echo Steve's remark that we're very honored to have been selected for this award, and certainly enjoyed the dinner and wish you all could have been there, but had a great time with those who were. We look forward to further opportunities to continue working with ISSIP and the research and expansion programs that they have in mind. Appreciate the recognition. And look forward to the website getting updated just as soon as possible.
Indeed.
Thank you for calling us on that.
Oh, did I actually say that?
Yeah.
That was your outside voice, Liz.
I'm sure Jim wants to say maybe a couple of words.
Yeah, just a couple of words. Lou and Steve, gosh, we've been working together for over 15 years, and you know, the number of contributions that you both have contributed to ISSIP and the service science effort are just, you know, in my mind, uncountable. Huge number of contributions. I remember, I'll just share one story for a few of the others on the call. I remember when I said, hey, I need a service science class at IBM. Can you both come and teach it? And I need an engineering part and I need a management part. And you both showed up at Almaden. We had a nice crowd in the auditorium, and I understand several people actually did the homework and got graded. So, and that's just a really, really just one of the many, many, many good memories I have of how you have helped the community over the years. And so I could go on and on, but I'll stop there. And this is fantastic recognition of your achievements in the community, and also look forward to celebrating with you personally at some point in the future.
Well, I wanted to add Jim's mentoring and guidance has been just not only inspirational, but also extremely helpful, and particularly appreciate, and I know Steve does too, the IBM Faculty Awards that he assisted us in applying for. Those were those were extremely important in enabling us to continue this work through the years. And I do appreciate that, and I thank you, Jim, for all of your help and assistance.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you all.
And also, I would like to add that, you know, we heard a lot about the contributions to the field, of course. I want to talk about a little bit about your contributions to ISSIP and how you have both been so instrumental in many of our accomplishments. And I personally am so indebted and grateful to you, having been really outstanding advisors, as you both have been advisors before being fellows, and even before I was ever here in founding the organization. So thank you so much. I really am honored to be collaborating with you guys. And I'll turn it over to Heather again.
One of the other things that we celebrated recently was our 2019 recognition and awards. We celebrated our winners at the dinner as well. There was a press release that came out recently. We certainly encourage all of you to continue to amplify the story through the link that's in the deck, which will be shared out later on. And during that time, we did hand out awards to the people that were able to attend. We will be continuing this award going into 2020. So again, a link here that can be shared, and we encourage you to share for additional folks to be applying for next year's award.
Okay, thank you. So another thing that you know, we kicked off last quarter is actually beginning of the year, the ISSIP student industry projects as part of the wider ISSIP industry research projects. And the first one that we kicked off was this June of the past June, in collaboration with IBM and University of Washington Tacoma. So the executive sponsor from IBM is Heiko Ludwig. So thank you to Heiko for basically identifying a project, and then Professor Halok Demirkan, who is whose students basically will be working on this project. So the project that, as the first that we have identified, is federated learning for anti-money laundering and non-performing loans. And the goal of this project is to compare graph-based machine learning to federated learning for these applications. And the duration of this project is 9 months. And so basically the structure of the project, this project and others that we hope our other members will get engaged in, is that the company provides a business problem. Then we work with a professor whose students will work on the solution of the problem, and then ISSIP really does the brokering and actually mentoring and coaching. So we're really grateful to both Haiku and Haluk for helping us kick this off, and look forward to working with others in the industry and academia to scale more of these projects. The next item is an update on the basically workshop research project that we had applied for NSF. I'm really happy to announce that we have won this award. As you know, we had won another NSF award a couple of years ago. This is a slightly bigger award. The award size is 87K. And the goal of this award is to basically provide input from industry to academia on how they would like to see changes in and improvements in higher education. And what we'll be doing, we'll be gathering a panel of industry experts. We'll conduct a workshop. We'll do surveys of the panel and a much wider group of industry experts. And then we'll publish a report. And after that, turn that into a business expert press book. I'm really honored to have collaborators that include Professor Front and Professor Kwan, and also Dr. Martha Russell from Stanford. We kicked the program off. In fact, Lou and Steve and myself have been on several calls, including this morning, to work on this. And so a lot of you are going to hear from us in getting you more engaged. And in fact, if you haven't heard anything about this and would like to get engaged in this or learn more about it, send me an email and I'll be happy to provide more information. Currently, we are basically inviting panel of experts, members on the panel, and developing the survey, or actually enhancing the survey, and soon we'll start the internal review board process in order to get the survey into a wider audience. And we're looking at holding a one-day workshop in December, more than likely second week of December. That will soon be finalized, and as I mentioned, the outcome will be a report and a book, and ultimately this really has a more wider impact, because what NSF is looking to do is to feed this the results of this research into colleagues in higher education. So potentially this could be really influential. The next item is an update on the European Commission project. Jim, would you like to say a few words about this? You might be on mute, Jim.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Sure.
Good. Still getting to learn Zoom, all the complexities. Yeah, so this is another ISSIP award that Yassi really took the major leadership role in working with a group, Empirica, in Europe. The European Commission calls the project CREATE, and it's about studying the creation of new service growth, especially the skills and jobs of the future for new service growth. And it's a 2-year project that ISSIP will be contributing to, and currently it's forming a steering committee and a group of 150 experts in service science and T-shaped people worldwide. And Yassi and I have been busy helping to gather up the specific people to invite. Obviously, a lot of ISSIP members are part of that list. And we are, the way I'm thinking about it is, for those of you who are familiar with the Cambridge SSME report from, we started that in 2008 and completed it in 2010 with the University of Cambridge. That was that effort, which led to a white paper around service science and T-shaped people. I see this as the version of this for the 2020s. So we're starting it now. It should be complete by 2021. And it will provide a lot of guidance for policymakers who are interested in how to promote service science, T-shaped people, new service growth, and a better understanding, I guess, of the world and as it's going to be transformed in service systems, especially transformed by artificial intelligence. So Yasi, you can add to that, but that's my quick overview.
Yeah, that's great. I think you captured it. And you know, like the previous one, if anyone has any question, feel free to send me an email. And you know, we are also gathering a panel of experts, and a lot of your names actually are on our panel of experts. So, but if you have any questions, send me an email. And
yes, and Jim, this is Patrick. Just a quick comment. Obviously, this is close to the theme of what the European Institute of Technology does, the T-shaped education. So, you know, we'll have an exchange of email on that topic, which is where we can perhaps see if we can contribute.
yeah. That would be great, Patrick. And I think we have your name also on the panel of experts. So
I know we do. I know we have it.
But you know, we can find people that are actually more expert than I am in that field, though I understand this field well. But you know, we'll work together to get you some experts there in Europe.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that'd be great, Patrick.
Yeah, I think we actually have 500 people on the list, Patrick, just so you know, and your name is there. And they're going to receive a formal invitation. There'll be a nice little letter, and if people accept, their name will end up in the report. And there'll be a survey that they can take to contribute. And yeah, I think the goal is to have 150, you know, out of that 500 that we're starting with accept the challenge of staying with us for 2 years and helping to guide the report into creation.
Good.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Oh, this is the right slide. Sorry, I meant to get rid of the other slide. So Heather, would you like to walk us through the Discovery Summit and what's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely, Yasi. So on July 16th, we led our last Discovery Summit, which was focused on future of work and AI and HR's role within that. So we held it within New York, the first Discovery Summit that we did on the East Coast. Very well attended and a lot of new faces, which was really interesting just to bring this entire group of people together. We had some fantastic conversation. And a lot of folks actually stayed through to have the discussion after the presentation portion. So I would say just overall very successful event. We hosted at IBM. Pankaj Shrivastava was our host there. So many thanks to Pankaj. We did gather notes, and we've had a number of presenters already volunteer, put their hands up to contribute to a book. So similar to our previous Discovery Summits, we'll have a publication that will come out of this. There is a link to notes there if you'd like to learn a little bit more about what was discussed at that meeting. In the future, next month, we have a Discovery Summit coming up that's a joint workshop with JST. This one's AI and physical, mental, and societal health. We have a really full agenda for that particular Discovery Summit as well. And then our last one for the year should be in the early December, which is looking at an industry perspective on STEM education for the future, tied closely to some of our additional themes for some of the grants on as well.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. And actually the website, we have a link to the website, which soon will be updated. Okay, a little bit of music there.
Sorry about that. Forgot I wasn't on mute.
Right.
Was our interlude.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
good. The other thing to just bring you up to date, we had a really good event at Fraunhofer International Symposium on future work in AI. Several of us ISSIPers were invited there. And so we attended the symposium July 2nd through the 4th. This is another initiative that is supported by the government. This is the German government. And from ISSIP, Terry Griffith from Santa Clara University, Gerhard Gütergen, our vice president, who is with Aachen University, and Yusuke Takashima from JST, and myself participated. And in fact, we had a 90-minute workshop on jobs and AI that was very well attended, and a lot of engagement and interactions. Several of us, led by Jim, co-authored a chapter that will be part of a book that is the outcome of the symposium. So stay tuned with that, for that. And we have certainly started, this was a start of what I think would be a fruitful relationship. The person that we're working closely with, again, thanks to Jim, is Walter Gans, who has been part of the service science community for many years. And in fact, that Cambridge SSME research, Walter was a contributor to that, and he runs a lab, the service lab. He's the director of that lab and does a lot of work on service design and service management. And so we've identified a few areas that we'll be collaborating with. So more to come on this. On Higgs 53, the 0 on that one is missing. That should say 2020. So normally, as you know, Haluk covers this and our events, but Haluk is actually in Turkey and enjoying a cruise with his family, so I'm happy to cover for him. So we're going to have a busy Higgs 53. We are currently planning 4 workshops on future work and continuing the theme of how HR can be driving this. That's a workshop that Heather and I are chairing. Then we have a workshop that Amar Reyes from Cisco and Rich Plain from Cisco are chairing, along with Heather, on AI and network infrastructure and management applications. We have 2 other ones that are led by our IBM colleagues, one on quantum computing and really helping education and looking at education on quantum computing and AI at the edge also, that's being chaired by IBM. So if there's still speaking slots, at least on a few of these workshops. And if you're interested in participating in Higgs and speaking at Higgs, please send an email, isip@isip.org. And of course, as previous years, Jim, Haluk, and Ralph are chairing a mini track on smart service systems. And we plan to continue our sponsorship of Higgs. It has been a great conference and a great example of collaboration and what an ambassador can do to grow our relationship with other conferences and associations. So we're, as always, thankful to Professor Haluk Demirkan for starting this relationship about 5 or 6 years ago and continuing to grow it.
And I think on that workshop on AI and network infrastructure and management applications that Amar is co-chair with you, with Heather and Rich Plano of Cisco, I think we're hoping that will lead to a journal publication similar to some of the other workshops we've done, right, Yasi?
Yes, absolutely. And Amar is on the line. If Amar, you want to say a couple of words on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Now we
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, absolutely. This is an important area, I think, for the audience and the call. So the area of utilizing the machine learning for infrastructure, as well as applications, software applications, managing the infrastructure or doing other capabilities, you know, in the cloud and so on and so forth. So if you have any proposals, any ideas, any papers, you have some, you'd like to be in the patents, please reach out to me and let me know.
Excellent. Thanks, Amar. Our other events, what has taken place, of course, were at HICS 52 earlier this year in January. We sponsored the Citrus Women in Technology conference, and of course our previous president 2018, Ramai Kurardu, spoke at that event. Then we had the Finland Open Tech AI, and after I finish going through this, maybe Jim would like to say a couple of words about that. And also Naples Forum. So we were also at Naples Forum on service, and Frontiers in Service in July. Jim, would you like to say a couple of words about all those three events? You're more familiar with those events than I am.
Sure, Yasi. Sorry, I had a little bandwidth glitch just a minute ago, so I can see the slide, and I assume you wanted me to talk about the
the Finland Open Tech AI.
Yeah.
This forum. And,
okay.
Frontiers.
Yeah, the Finland Open Tech AI. This is the second year we did this. This came out of a collaboration with VTT. For folks that don't know VTT, they're sort of like Fraunhofer is for Germany as VTT is for Finland. It's their national research organization that partners with all of the businesses in Finland to do research. And Daniel Pakala visited me at IBM. He's an ISSIP member. He's published about service science. He's actually completing his PhD right now on a great service science topic. But he's also very, very deeply working in artificial intelligence and robotics, and so that collaboration is with IBM Finland, and we had open source panels, we had healthcare panels, we had industry application panels, we had keynotes from the European Union, the head of AI in Finland. Really great event all around. The first day is tutorials, so lots of educational material, well attended. We've had very, very good collaboration with people in Finland on that. And then the Naples Forum, very successful. Actually, that's where we first announced the award to Lou and Steve as ISSIP fellows, and ISSIP also did a Best Paper Award there. That conference has about 150 attendees. It was in Ischia, beautiful this time of year, and it is a lot of the leadership in the service research community worldwide attends that. Several good collaborations came out of that as well this year, so we definitely plan to continue working with the Naples Forum on Service. And we plan to do that every other year. So we'll do the Naples Forum on Service on odd years. Even years, we're going to be doing the AHFE Human Factors Conference with the human side of service engineering. I don't see that on the list here. Maybe it's here and I'm missing it.
Yeah, no, it's
okay.
missing it.
Yeah, it's in a planning stage. And of course, Frontiers in Service, we do the Journal of Service Research Best Paper Award. So those are just some of the conferences that ISSIP sponsors. And I think the one area that we've talked about that maybe adding something is in the service computing area. So that's an opportunity for us in the future to look for a conference that ISSIP might sponsor in the service computing area.
Yeah, and if any of you are engaged in a conference in service computing, let us know, because that's how our collaborations happen. One of our members is passionate about connecting the two, so let us know.
Yeah, and we do have also the IC-Serve, which is in partnership with the Society for Serviceology in Japan. Kazuyoshi Hidaka-san has signed an MOU with ISSIP, so we're going to be doing Best Paper Awards there. Actually, in 2020 March, that's in Kyoto. So I think that's another one that I should have updated the slide and added.
It actually is there, except it says Tokyo, Jim.
Ah, okay.
Right. Yeah, it should say Kyoto. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a quick update.
Okay, thanks, Jim. And the only other couple of points is that we'll also be collaborating with IBM and LinkedIn on a panel on people analytics in Denver in October, and the University of Washington Center for Business Analytics, thanks to Huluk, is exploring to jointly sponsor Best Paper Awards at other than HICS conferences, because they've provided ISSIP with some funding for that. So we're grateful for that. An update on publications. So Business Expert Press, thanks to Jim and Huluk, we already have 36 books in the collection on service systems and in business and society. We have 15 more in the pipeline. So if you're an aspiring author or a repeat author, please check out the website, how to make a proposal to Huluk and Jim. On other publication fronts, I mentioned the chapter that we contributed to the Fraunhofer book. The Business Expert Press book coming out of our Discovery Summit of last year has been submitted for publication, so it's under editor's review at this point. The BEP book for the July 16 is the outline has been developed, and we'll soon be working on that. We got several chapter contributor, author volunteers, so we got a lot of interest in the last Discovery Summit. And also the white paper from HICS 2019 is under development. A quick update on special interest groups and communities of interest. So our cognitive computing group has been basically growing calls, thanks to Susan for hosting those calls. And the last few weeks, actually, there's been a lot of more activities, and I'm sorry to say that I haven't been able to attend, but I certainly intend to going back to those. And if you need more information, I've provided a link on how to get actually on the list of invitees. And the goal is to continue the calls for the remainder of the year. And if you would like to speak at one of these on cognitive computing, you can send me an email and I'll connect you to Susan, who's on the call, I think. And on the education and research SIG, Haluk is working on proposing a badging and certification. I know he has a student who is working on this as we speak, and this person is actually looking at parallel path both for University of Washington badging and ISSIP. So we'll soon see a first draft coming. Service Innovation Framework has been focusing on publishing the Service Innovation Blocks and People-Centered Innovation Methodology book. And in collaboration with the Education and Research SIG, the next thing would be for this year is looking at a badging framework. And service design, as you know, for a while that was on hold, but thanks to Daniela St. Georgi, that will the activities will start in October, and we're scheduling a series of talks by recent PhD students that will be speaking basically on various aspects of service design and what they've done in their thesis and getting industry input back. The next item is we would hear from our ISSIP editors. Michelle Tomac is on the line. Michelle, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Yasi. Very briefly, everyone, since you are, I imagine, recipients and familiar with the newsletter, but just wanted to reiterate a couple of points and ask for your continued content, participation, etc. So the newsletter is automatically sent to any individual member the 15th of every month, by and large. And we like to think of it as a tool for everything ISSIP that's available in an easy form on a monthly basis that can be used to communicate with individual members, that could be used to help with potential collaboration opportunities for ISSIP, and just generally keeping people informed of what's available. Now, there's a lot of material that's sent around by different channels, so this is one of them. We've been engaged with for the last 12 months with doing a monthly interview. Some of you on the line here have participated, and thank you very much. We are building our pipeline, and we look forward to also getting updates from some of you, since work never stands still. We would appreciate any content that you might want to share, and we always look to add new things. So in the next newsletter, which will be in September, because we do take August off, as all good Europeans do. And we, sorry,
Somehow.
we'll get there.
Right.
We'll be highlighting career transitions of our of ISSIP members and those sorts of issues, in addition to introducing new ISSIP members that we become aware of. So please feel free to share, and if you're interested in an interview, we would be very pleased to share what I think is a pretty easy process. Anyhow, so thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. And I really want to thank Michelle and Salvador for the wonderful they've been doing for the newsletter. If you haven't checked out the newsletter recently, please do. You know, thanks to both of them, the quality of the newsletter has really improved. And I encourage everyone to you know, if you want to be interviewed or you have an update, to really reach out to Michelle and Salvador. And thank you, Michelle, and give my best to Salvador also.
Will do. Thank you.
You know, we've spoke about a lot of volunteers already, but I wanted to put additional names of those that I know have been very active over the last quarter and beyond. I'm not going to go through all the names one by one. And I'm sure, as always, I might be missing some names, so forgive me if your name should be here and is not. But we are really grateful to all the volunteers in ISSIP. ISSIP couldn't be without all of your efforts and contributions. So an update on institutional membership. So we've gotten a number of more institutions engaged in ISSIP, and we're trying to co-create with them different projects. You know, we talked about Fraunhofer. LinkedIn has been a part of our Discovery Summit with very good reception and a lot of future interests. United Healthcare, Optum has been engaged in ISSIP. Sunil Kripalani is on the board. Of course, Heather is giving us a lot of guidance and leadership as our president from Facebook. Fujitsu has been very engaged, Accenture and Google, just to name a few. One of the things that we had done earlier this year is we had put out a survey to explore how ISSIP could better co-create value with potential industry members. We got initial round of that survey back, and Corbin Wall from Cisco is analyzing those, and an updated version of that based on the learning out of that would go to a wider audience. On the individual membership front, this past quarter has been a little slower than normal, and that is typical of the summer months. We have about 15 additional members, which is less than typically what we get in 3 months. You know, we're gonna look at that to see if there's anything beyond the slow summer months, but that's fairly expected. The breakout is similar to previous quarters, with mostly academia and industry, and a smaller portion of students, and then small, medium-sized companies, and in independent consultants. An update on financials. I'll just leave this here. We just on the income side of things, we're still expecting 2019 invoices. So that's why that is somewhat lower than we usually expect by this time of the year. But you know, expecting those to come in soon. And you know, I'll just leave this here in case there are any questions for a minute. And last thing is just another bit of operations. Our tax forms were filed on the July 29th, and as you know, May 15th is usually when they're due. We had to postpone that because of issues with our accountant, and with an extension, those were due on November 15th, and they were filed July 29th. So we're good. We're good with the IRS, and that's how we like it to be.
Agreed.
So, and that's all we have. So I'm going to open things up, open it up to everyone else. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts.
This is Jim. Thank you, Yasi, for pulling this all together. Lots of really exciting and good activity. I see, you know, I think maybe this is the first time Franz Dill has joined us on the call. He's a regular on our CSIG calls, so I just want to welcome Franz and thank you for joining the ISSIP update. And
great, thanks, Jim. Yeah, this is the first time I've been on this call, and great to see what everybody's doing. It's really very impressive. I used to work for Procter & Gamble. I'm now an independent worker in the AI area, and a lot of this is of a lot of interest to me. So it's great to follow this and to continue to be connected to ISSIP. Thanks very much for everything.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Franz. And I see Pedro. Pedro's on. I think Pedro's been on some of the previous ISSIP calls, quarterly calls, but I don't know, Pedro, if you wanted to introduce yourself, and hope things are going well with your project that you've told some of us about.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I submitted a proposal, talked with Amar and Jim. That didn't work out. I plan to do a series of presentations and seminars during the next fall in several universities. I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, thanks for the leadership, and I've been enjoying it.
Great, thanks, Pedro.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Pedro and Franz, and let us know really after hearing all of this if there's a specific area where you guys would be interested to learn more about and get more engaged in ISSIP. Anything else?
Maybe just mentioning Javier Busquet, who's a professor at ISSIP, which is an economics school in Spain, is going to be visiting the Bay Area with some of his students, and he's trying to get more involved in ISSIP and potentially become an ISSIP ambassador and maybe start an ISSIP chapter in Spain. And also recently, a faculty member from Argentina contacted me about his desire to have a service science course in Argentina. So one idea that came up as a result of the interaction with the professor from Argentina, because he too is looking for a way to get his students more involved in service science and service thinking. And he mentioned two interesting startups that new models of service systems that he's seeing in Argentina. One is that Coca-Cola is behind, where you can order a Coke and have it delivered to you by your neighbors. So it sounds kind of interesting. And another one was sort of a local food service that kind of had a very interesting neighborhood area, where neighbors could cook food for each other. So I suggested that he might want to have his students do the exercise, Yassi and others, of creating a ISSIP Service Excellence Award package for these innovations. If they really think they're innovative and they're catching on, it might be good to get a good pipeline of Service Innovation Excellence Awards coming in, and that might make a good student project. So I just thought I'd share those other items.
Jim, this is Michelle. One quick thing about Javier Busquets. You may know Salvatore is based in Valencia and has a lot of contacts around Spain.
Yeah.
Maybe they may know each other, but it might be worth connecting them.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I hadn't connected that mental dot yet, so appreciative. That's fantastic. We'll make sure they get introduced. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim and Michelle. That's great. Anything else? Any questions, thoughts, suggestions? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. Thanks for participating. And the recording and slides will be soon posted. The slides are posted, but recording will be soon posted on the ISSIP website. Thanks, and see you all soon.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Hello.